welcome back to the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel. It's Erica with you today, and we are going to be talking a little bit about color blocking today. So color blocking is basically using the color wheel and finding colors that are opposites that will, enhance each other and work in harmony by giving a fantastic contrasting look. So I wouldn't say that these colors are maybe exactly like in the opposite range of the color wheel. However, it's a yellow, it's a pink, and it's salvage patina, like mint. And separate, they are quite different colors, but they work really, really well together. This is one of my favorite Distress Oxide ink blending combos. As soon as I tried it, I was sold. There is something super summery and like lovely about this. So I'm going to actually ink blend 2 panels today because I have 2 of these butterfly Slimline already die cut pieces. So I thought I'm gonna do one with ink blending and maybe some gold splatters and stuff, and then I'm going to either heat emboss some clear sparkle on top of the other one, or use some Nuvo glimmer paste. We will see how things go because I haven't decided just yet, but I thought I'd just do the ink blending first and then we're gonna get making with the rest of the cards. I mean, obviously I need to poke out like the little bits and pieces here, and yeah, but so our focus today basically is going to be the backgrounds of just using colors that kind of complement each other while still standing out as separate colors together. I hope that makes sense. It kind of made more sense in my head as I was, putting it together. But yeah, we're going to get ink blending first of all. So let's do that. So I have got a piece of Strathmore Bristol smooth surface cardstock. What I'm going to do is, this is actually like one of those kind of 9 by 12 inches, but I've cut it down. I try to measure it out so that my 2 butterfly Merakulous panels that I'm going to use on top of these fit really, really well. And then I am going to start with my squeezed lemonade, and we're going to lemonade it up. Yes, we are. So, I don't know why I said that. But, and then we're going to go with our salvage patina on the other end, and then we're going to have our kitsch flamingo in the middle. So, I'm gonna leave like all of the ink pads and the brushes out because we're going to be blending back and forth to make sure we get a nice smooth blend, and we're also going to clean up a little bit in between. So if you see that little piece of acetate that I got with the 2 yellow bits of post-it tape, this is what I call my fingerprint saver. So it's not necessary to save my fingers from getting inky. It's from not getting fingerprints on my ink blending because I have really oily fingers, and I have my skin on top of my hands is dry and my fingertips are like oily, so I leave fingerprints wherever I go. I mean, we all do, but I seem to leave a lot of fingerprints, so I don't want to leave fingerprints on my ink blending. I want that to be nice and smooth. So this is what I do to avoid sort of contaminating my ink blending. Now you can see here I'm going back in with some yellow again. And we're going to go back with the salvage patina. We're going to blend until those lines are smooth. And it will look a little bit kind of uneven when you sort of just finish blending, because you do need to let the ink dry and, let the paper settle. But this is basically what we've got to work with. So we are going to cut this in half. In half? Yeah, about half-ish. So we're going to take our panels, we're going to measure and make sure that we cut them about sort of perfect size. So at first I was thinking I'm going to cut them so that there's nothing poking out, but I decided to cut a little bit bigger first, and we are going to start with our Nuvo glimmer paste. I decided to go for the paste. So we're going to spread a nice thin layer. So, I mean, I know it looks kind of chunky at the moment, but it's just because it's so glittery. So we're going to spread this nice and evenly over our panel, and then we're going to set this aside to dry because, we can't do anything with this until it's dry. So make sure that you cover as much as you want, basically. I mean, I wanted to make sure that the whole mini Slimline Merakulous cover bit was going to have lots of sparkle behind it. I think a little bit kind of went outside, but I think that adds to the whole handmade look rather than, you know, being perfect. But look at that shimmer. Isn't that incredible? Oh, so good. I love that. Yay. And our second panel, this one, we are going to put into our splatter box. I remembered this time. Yes, sometimes I don't remember, but this time I did. And then we are going to get our very well used and well loved Starry Color watercolor palette from Gansai Tambi. So this one is, I have had this I think for close to 10 years, and you can see I'm only just getting to like the end of all of it. I mean, there's still plenty left in some of the colors, and we're going to splatter this very, very generously over the panel. But what I should have done first is do what I'm doing now. There's always something, isn't it? Memo to self, don't do what Erica did in that video. So we splattered a little bit of water on top as well, but we should have done that first, let that dry, and then splattered the gold. But hey, you live and learn, right? I hope anyway. So I'm going to dry this gently with my heat tool. We're not gonna rush because we don't want the paper to warp too much. So this is just on the low setting, and we're just gonna go over gently. And then we're going to pick this up and we're going to admire it a little bit. Yes, because look at that. That looks so gorgeous. I love that. Yes. So now it's time to actually put our cards together. And I have poked out all of the little bits and pieces here. And then it was a case of like, okay, so which one is going to go on which panel? Because, I mean, they're obviously the same, but the one is white and one is black. One is kind of more muted and one is super sparkly. Okay, I say muted, but you know what I mean, right? You know. And I decided almost right away, which is a bit of a surprise, probably not just to me, but to you as well. I decided right away, this is the one who's going to go on that panel. And that was it. There was no kind of fiff-faff going back and forwards, which I am super proud of myself for, by the way. High five, yes. So we are going to glue down this panel directly on top. And I'm going to obviously be using a little bit of liquid glue because I cannot live without my liquid glue. And this is we're going to finish this off in quite a cute way. And it will be a little bit more bling-a-ling as well because, you know, I can't help myself. But, you know. So here we're going to go over, not every single line because that's very tricky because some of them are very, very fine in detail. But you know, if you do the frame, you do kind of around the wings of the butterflies, and then you just make sure you press down and keep it down so that it dries flat as well. That is a good key. Now here, there was a little bit of kind of, I didn't feel like it was sort of super straight. So I trimmed it off just a little bit and nobody would be none the wiser except for all of you who would just watch this video. Now, we are going to add a sentiment, of course, and we are going to be using the new Meraki Hi. And then we're going to finish that off with, you make me smile, because I thought that was kind of sweet. Hi, you make me smile. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out another piece of cardstock here. This is the same Strathmore Bristol cardstock. And then we're going to ink blend with the same colors. So obviously a lot smaller. And this time I started with the pink in the middle and then with the yellow and we're going to say mint. Yeah. On the top there. And then we're just going to use the shadow, so the biggest shadow die cut to cut out the outline or the shape. Anyway, we're going to use this piece and we're going to cut it out and then we're going to pop that onto a card. So what we are also going to do is we are going to add the actual kind of high so that you can see. I mean, because you can sort of say that it says high, but it's not super duper clear. So I thought I'm going to use one of my very, very many. I have so many hot foil panels because I'm a little bit obsessed with that. So I thought this would be a nice little touch to kind of bring in like the gold splatter on the background. So I die cut the actual high letters out of a hot foiled panel. And then we're gonna, again, just glue these down. Again, always liquid glue. Cannot stress this enough. And then we're going to stamp up the You Make Me Smile on a thin banner, which we're also gonna kind of layer up with the high. So my idea was that it was gonna kind of somehow sort of poke out a little bit so that it would really kind of look, there's not going to be any sort of misconception. It's not going to be like the banner down at the bottom and the high at the top. It's all going to be very cohesive. So here I am. At first I was like, okay, well, I got to stamp it up, obviously. But then right as I was doing this, I was like, okay, well, now I could be a little bit smart. Yes. So look, this time, definitely do what Erica says and does, because this one worked out really, really well. So I measured with my cardstock and my high die cut and used my little stamp to see exactly where it was going to go. This worked out very, very well and looks very cute, if I may say so myself. So a little bit of black ink, a little bit of Snappy Stamp, and then we're going to trim to a very, very skinny banner. And then we're going to use the grids on my work mat to make sure that everything is lining up straight, because this will be just the thing, right? So you got your banner, your sentiment word die, and then you manage to glue it on so that it looks wonky either on the card or, you know, the sentiment itself goes wonky. So yes, grid mat to the rescue for sure. So I could have added the glue to the back of the die cut, but for some reason I decided to be a little bit awkward and add it to the banner itself. But I did try to use kind of like, I'm not going to say eye contact, it's not eye contact, but, you know, like measuring with my eye, like where the glue was going to go. And it did kind of work out, actually. It worked out pretty well. And then we're just going to add a little bit of glue on the back here, and then we're going to add this to our card. So very simple, very kind of cute, if I may say so myself. I mean, this is a very cute and summery card, very cheerful. And again, also using the grid to make sure that we get that on straight. So we're going to add a few Golden Illusion gems. Just a few. Yeah, I know. Just a few. These are some of my favorites. I know I say that about almost all of the sparkles I use, but I do love my sparkles, and I have many, many, many favorites. So it would be like asking, like, which one is your favorite dog? I was like, I can't pick. I love them all. I do. So yes, I am actually running a little bit low on this one, but would you believe it that this is one of the first pots of gems that I got? And I have been with Crafty Meraki for, I think, 3 years now. No, almost 3 years. And I have used these a lot. A lot. And I'm pretty sure that this is my first pot. Yes. So you get a lot in your pot. Just saying. Gold in your pot. Yes, that was a cute little pun. Okay, so I have had maybe one too many espressos while I'm doing right before doing this voiceover. I apologize, but hopefully you'll enjoy the ride. So that is the first card almost done. We're just gonna trim off the excess of this little banner, and obviously it needs a card base, but that's pretty cute, right? I think it worked out pretty cute. And then we are gonna finish off the second card. So this one is gonna be a lot simpler. Is it simpler if there's no bling? I mean, it's still sparkly. But so basically we're starting the same way. We're going to add lots of liquid glue to the back of this panel. But because of the glimmer paste, you might want to add a little bit more glue and then add something flat and somewhat heavy on top to kind of make sure that everything sticks, because it can be a little bit tricky to get things to stick to a dried glittery paste background. And also try not to drop your panel with all that glue. I made a big old mess, yes. But I have let this sit under a misty for a while, and then while I was doing that, I cut out the high again. This time I used the middle shadow piece and the actual letter piece. And then I stamped up the same You Make Me Smile sentiment on a skinny banner. And this worked out really well. I think it actually kind of looks a bit nicer with just the 2 layers on this one, with the white and the black, because the background is so shimmery, right? I mean, nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you do then have to kind of tone down your sentiment while still making it stand out a little bit, because I kind of felt like it didn't need all 3 layers. But because also I was like, do I ink blend again, or what do I do? So I thought, you know what, monochrome, black and white, super duper simple, elegant, to the point. And it actually, I feel, helped it stand out a little bit against that sort of shimmery background. But I would love to hear what you think, because I mean, I have used very similar products for both of these cards. The sort of the concept is the same. It's just that some of the bits, you know, obviously there's a sparkly background, and then there's like a gold shimmery background, and then there's bling on one, there's black outline on one, there's white outline on one, and I still think, you know, they're both cute, but they're different. And I would absolutely love to hear which one is your favorite, because I think on the black one, the high stands out a lot better. But I also kind of love the little touches of foil on the second one. So I would, yeah, absolutely love to hear what you think. Let me know down below. And if you have any tips for maybe, I don't know, anything with gluing, or, you know, how to not be such a complete lunatic when I do voiceovers, I would be greatly appreciative of all advice and feedback. So yes, that is it from me for today. I really, really hope you enjoyed this video. What a great start to a Monday, right? Or a week rather. But I will be back soon with more shenanigans, no doubt. And I will see you very, very soon again. Bye for now.